Playing OP05 on budget might be troublesome, especially for the new players that don't have any cards. That's why I have for you today BUDGET Zoro build for OP05 that is targeted into two main threats in the meta, that is Sakazuki and Katakuri right now. We choose Zoro because it's a red leader that can go really fast with Straw Hat engine, so we get the value of our characters before Sakazuki can clear them and catch up with us. Also for Katakuri matchup we can go white and just push life again to be much faster than our opponent. Zoro leader, science first expansion, relevant, beautiful ability. When we have one don attached to him, all our characters gain 1000 power. Because of that we are building our deck around low cost characters that are easy to buff. Deck is built on a budget around 50 euro or even below, depending on your region and pricing. Let me show you example. I'm from Europe, from Germany. I use card market here, made the whole list, use some shopping wizard to make it faster to generate a list with the current prices. Today is 24th December 2023. Let's see. And we have the prices ready. So you see article value is 44 euros. Shipping cost is 11 euro, depending. You see most of the sellers are from Germany, some of them other countries. So the biggest cost you will take building this deck is from shipping, because the cards itself are cheap. So what I suggest, first check in your local game store, maybe Facebook group and so on, so you can buy cards locally. They are really cheap cards, no reason to pay additional cost for shipping. The players that play from the start of the game in your area would have them really cheap, especially cards like Zoro that is available from the recent ST10 starter deck. He was reprinted, so you see this card used to cost close to 20 euro when Zoro was popular. Now because we have a reprint, you can get them in a different version, in a different art at much cheaper. You see all the cards really cheap. The most expensive one is let me see, Monkey D. Luffy Rusher, but just 2 copies. They are 5 euro. Depending on your region you can also buy starter deck to get him, but when I was checking the prices I was able to find all these cards below 50 euro total. Here I just used shopping wizard to make it faster, but as I said, check with your local game store. You should be able to build this deck easily below 50 euro. This is important because decks that are top tier in the meta, Sakazuki, Katakuri and even Enel or Purple Luffy, they all include very expensive cards because they were printed at the start at the game, like Queen in Purple Luffy, like Katakuri in yellow decks, like Ina and Borsalino, Kuzan in black decks. So it's really hard to get them. The Straw Hat engine is really cheap, and let's talk about the deck itself. The most important card that was banned for a moment but is unbanned in OP05 is Nami. It's basic searcher. What is important is also a 1 cost character, 2000 power. We are searching for a Straw Hat crew type card, so it might be even character or event. And as you will see or see already, we have a lot of targets, so we never miss the search with Nami. Because it's 2000 power character, it's a little bit harder to buff with our leader effect because we need to attach Don to Nami to attack, but we have some other ways to buff her. We will speak about it in a moment. And before we speak about our buffers, other 1 cost characters that we play is Sanji. Sanji is the same as Sanikun, it's just cheaper card because it's available from OP04 expansion. It's 1 cost 3000 power vanilla character, very easy to buff with Zoro. You can spam a lot of 1 cost characters, then attach 1 don to your leader, 1 don to Sanji, and you already have 5000 power attacker. Additionally, it's a Straw Hat crew character, so easy to search with Nami. If for some reason you don't need to play him, he has 1k counter like every vanilla card, so it's never dead in hand. Another 1 cost character that we play is Buggy, 1 cost character, 3000 power again, so the stat line that we can easily buff. There is some additional gimmick here because we have an effect on a card. We don't have 1k counter, but Buggy, we always want to play him for two reasons. First, it cannot be KO'd when battling / attribute characters and leaders, so might be a little bit harder for your opponent to remove him from board. But another important effect is on play. Look at 5 cards from the top from your deck and reveal 1 red event and add it to your hand. Because of that, as we want to avoid missing our on play ability, we are playing 12 events. We will speak about them a little bit later, but Buggy is an amazing card in a Zoro deck because it's 1 cost, easy to buff, statline 3000 power. We play him and don't get minus card in hand because he searches for some event for us. It's possible to whiff him, sure, but with 12 events in deck, most likely you should hit the search from Buggy. Then we go into category of buffers. Last 1 cost character that we play, Magra, 1 cost 2000 power, like Nami, 1k counter. On play, we can buff one of our 1 cost characters by giving them 3000 power during the turn. So as it's easy to count, when we attach 1 Don to leader, we play Magura. If we target Nami, she will be attacking for 6k power. If we target Buggy or Sanji, they will be attacking for 7k. Another 1 cost character that is also a 2k counter. We run 12 2k counters in the deck, so nothing crazy. Standard guidelines for 2k counters is Makino, 1 cost 0 power character, and here, as opposed to Magura that is on play, we have activate main. Raise this character up to one of your red characters with a cost 1, gains 3000 power. So again the same. We play Makino down, we rest her, we target Nami if we want to attack for 6k, target Buggy, Sanji if we attack for 7k. We've done under our leader, and because we can do it every turn as it's activate main, when we rest Makino, she works as a blocker for us because your opponent sees your board full of 1 cost characters and they know they must clear Makino because the next turn you will be swinging with higher power again. As we already started topic of 2k counters, let's speak about another 2 characters that have 2k counter. One of them is 2 cost Sanji from the first expansion, 3000 power character, again easy to buff, 1 Don under leader, 1 Don under Sanji, and we are attacking. But what is really important about this card is not that it's a 2k counter, it's always nice, but its activate main effect. Once per turn we can take the card from our life to give Sanji 2000 power and additionally 2 rested dons. There is a lot of value from Sanji in this deck. Let me explain. First of all, our strategy is based around going wide on board and finding our pieces to be able to push damage early. For the first 5 turns we must to push as much as possible so we can finish the game turn 5 or 6 the latest, because if we run out of gas, our opponent catches up with us, it will be really hard to finish the game. What Sanji allows us to do is to play him down, and even if you don't plan to attack with him, maybe it's your first turn that you played him down, you can use his ability to draw a card from your life. In this deck build we are treating life as a resource. We are not afraid to go low on life if it helps us to find the pieces that we need. On top of that, if your opponent let Sanji stick on board, then the next turn you have an attacker that can go either 7k or 8k into phase if you attach Don to your leader. Amazing card or copies or sure. The last 2k counter that we play is Brook. Brook is a lot of times comparable with the Sanji that we just spoke about because they kind of do the same thing. They let us be efficient with our Don. So when we play Brook, again 2 cost 3000 power character, on play we give 2 rested Dons that we just paid for him to our leader or one of our characters. So essentially we get the free character on board with 3000 power stat line and we attach the Dons that we would attach anyway to character or leader of our choice. Very strong card. Again, even though it's 2k counter, most of the time we will play him down for his amazing utility. Okay, so we have a lot of small characters that we want to spam on our board, but as we already noticed, we can really quickly get out of cards in our hand. For now we spoke about only just one searcher, that is Nami for the Straw Hat type. We spoke also about Buggy that help us to get additional card in hand on play, but the most important card I would say that was also banned until OP05 release is Curly Dadan, who cost 3000 power, easy to buff with Zoro already, and on play we look at the 5 cards from the top of the deck, reveal one red character with cost of 1 and add it to your hand. Amazing searcher. Take a look how many targets we have in a deck. Maybe we need to dig a little bit deeper. We will search for Nami. Maybe we need some event. We will dig for Buggy. If we already have a strong board, maybe we are lacking some buffers. Any one cost character that we need is really easy to find with Dadan, and additionally Dadan can really easily swing for 5k the next turn. Amazing value. Now let's speak a little bit about our mid-game, late-game threats, our finishers if you will. We have Zoro, that is free cost 5000 power character, the best possible stat line for this cost, and on top of that it's a rusher. It's our all-star in this deck with just 1 don under the leader, 1 don under the character Zoro. We are swinging for 7k, and the cost for it just to play rush character for free with 5000 power is amazing. Most of the time we will wait into the mid or maybe even late game to play him down, but if we don't have anything better to do with our Dawn, we can even play him down as vanilla. Another card that we play only 2 copies because it's a little bit pricey. You won't really play that much of Monkey D. Luffy in your matches. It's our safety net in case we need to fly above blockers. It's 5 cost 6000 power, so a little bit worse Dawn to power ratio than Zoro, but also has rush and amazing effect. If you attach 2 Dawn to him, your opponent cannot activate blocker during this battle. So our Luffy is unblockable and is swinging most likely for the 9k because we will have 1 don under the Zoro, so it's already 7k when we play him down, and if we attach 2 dons we have 9k swing unblockable into our opponent. Amazing finisher, especially against decks like mentioned Sakazuki that likes to hide behind blockers, or even Katakuri. If they trigger some pesky blockers, you can still finish the game with Luffy, and if they still have 1 turn ahead and they don't clear Luffy, then the next turn he will fly over blockers again. But most likely the turn you play Luffy down will be last turn for your opponent. Okay, Luffy is an amazing card, but we have some other safety net in case our opponent plays a lot of blockers. It's Diable Jambe. Just for 1 cost we can target any of our Straw Hat characters or leaders and make them unblockable for this turn. The most important card in our deck, I would say, for matchups like Sakazuki and Katakuri, or any matchup that plays a lot of blockers, because we have so many valid targets. Most of the time it will be just finisher with Zoro, but you might have the games where you have Sanji on board, you will buff him with Makino or Magura, and then additionally make him unblockable with Diable Jambe to push for the game. So you see, in total we have 2 Diable Jambe, 2 Luffy, so we have 4 cards. 1 of them we will draw for sure, just to make finish of the game by turn 5, turn 6 a little bit better. And Diable Jambe we can find with Buggy, also with Nami, because Diable Jambe is the Straw Hat crew. Then the last offensive card that we play is Gum Gum Jet Pistol, and we play 4 copies only because of this trigger effect. We want to find at least 1 in our life to get rid of some target from our opponent. If we are able to trigger Gum Gum Jet Pistol into opponent's, let's say, Borsalino on our opponent attack, then we are eating good. There are not many situations where we will play it from hand unless our hand is not the best. Might be the case if you have some blocker that you need to get rid of, or maybe a character, but most of the time we just hope to have a trigger of Jet Pistol, or what we can do, we can sacrifice it from our hand into our defensive event. We are playing 2 copies of Batmaner's Kick Course, that is a counter. For 0 Dawn we may trash 1 card from our hand and give our leader or character 3000 power. Amazing card. There will be the time in a game where our opponent wants to get rid of our characters most likely, or go for the game. They see 0 Dawn up and maybe they want to clear Zoro with 7k attack. Then we just use the zero cost event, trash useless jet pistol, and our Zoro sticks on board. You can catch your opponent by surprise. Not many players, especially the newer ones, play around this card, so many 7k attacks you can counter this way, and also filter your hand from bricks. Maybe you don't need jet pistol, then you trash jet pistol for this card. Maybe too many buggies in hand, trash one of them, and so on and so on. And last defensive event, also the card that was restricted before, now we are back on playset. 4 copies allowed. We have Radical Beam, the best red defensive event in a game. Just for 1 Dawn, if we are on 2 or less life, we are getting plus 4000 power. Anytime we leave Dawns up, our opponent must calculate for the Radical Beam. This card is just that good. Anytime, even if you don't have it in hand, they must consider one of the cards might be Radical Beam. Very, very strong card, and because of Radical Beam and because of bad manners, what we usually do, we don't counter any attacks from our opponent into our life unless this is the finishing turn from our opponent. Because most of the time we can make a setup when we force our opponent to try and finish the game, but we have already so many Radical Beams or bad manners or 2k counters in hand that we can survive. So it doesn't matter if they go for the board or they go for the game, we are in the situation where we are leaving the final push, and they need to consider it, and most of the time it will be already too late for them to make a decision, because maybe you put them to 0 life, you are already with Diable Jumbo in hand, just need to survive one more turn. Really, really powerful combo here. If we have Radical in hand, we have bad manners in hand, and one other card, we already have 7k counter power. Amazing card. Fortunately it's unbanned, so Zoro is back. So why Zoro is the best budget deck for now? Because our meta has a lot of decks that don't play that many 2k counters, especially Sakazuki and Katakuri, and it's very easy to rush them down and then skip the blockers. Zoro is a very good pick for the starter deck, especially if you are on a budget around 50 euro. Very easy to build, very easy to play. Sometimes you might have some tough decisions, but the general gameplay will be just to go white with your searchers, low cost characters. First 2 turns maybe do a little bit of setup, then start pushing life, ignore the characters on board, wait for the later turns to maybe play your bigger threats like Zoro, Luffy, but force your opponent to attack your life, take your life aggressively, only consider defending your characters if you can count that you can push the game next turn, as most of them will replace themselves until we have cards in hand, and force your opponent to try and finish the game or focus your characters when you can actually defend them with our strong defensive lines like Radical Beam and bad manners, and they left themselves open that the next turn you will actually push for the game with the help of Diable Jumbo or Luffy if they try to hide behind blockers, and they will try because they don't have 2k counters. If they use 2k counters early, then they need to rely on blockers. Now I invite you to watch some of my games against meta decks like Sakazuki, Katakuri, and even Enel. Enel is the worst matchup for us, but I managed to catch one game to show you what can happen, how fast can you go to catch Enel player of guard. Enjoy the games. We play against Sakazuki. I will go second. We have okay hand, keep. We already have our pieces, including Diable Jumbo, to put some pressure, and let's see. First turn should be just leader's effect, drop Manchery and draw a card. Now it's our turn. We have 2 dawns, we have some options here. Against Sakazuki, the next turn they probably play Hina, or they might play Brenu plus something. I will just place Sanji here to speed up the game a little bit, and let's see, because life we will be taking anyway and we want to push as much as possible. We take the life obviously, and let's see what they develop. Probably Brenu if they have it in hand, or maybe no, if it would be Hound Blaze they would play it earlier. Okay, so we have Brenu. Brenu can fight our characters, but we also have some spicy things to do. We want to go white. what we can do here is to spam the board a lot. So we start with vanilla attack 5k. They take, and it might be a mistake, because right now what we're gonna do, we deploy that down. What can we pick here? Probably a buffer. Nami is okay to find Diablo, but I would like to buff our characters, put Nami at the front just in case. And now take a look to press the downs, we take the life, it's okay. Another buffer, beautiful next turn. We push 7k, and because they took the first life, now they are forced to take another. Sakazuki normally play around 8 copies of 2k counters, and they already have Tashigi in trash. And now we follow up with our strong 1-cost characters, buggy into another Diablo, just in case that we need to finish the game quickly. Put Makino at the front and Nami just in case. And next turn is really explosive for us. Now it obviously depends if they play a 4-cost Lucci into our characters. It might be a little bit tough, but at least one character should stay. And now we see 5k attack into Sanji, and what I said before, we would like to save him, but we don't have any means to save him other than throwing our buffers, and we want our buffers in hand. So we let him go. Now most likely, oh, actually they miss Lucci. This is big for us. And they just play brand new. They play brand new, and it might be too slow. They have some pieces, they have 9 cards in hand. We must be careful, but actually it might be already too slow. So how do we push here? 1 for Dadan, 1 for buffers, 2 dons left. How do we want to push with 2 dons left? 7-7, 7-6 probably. I think that's the way here. We need to go fast. We go 6. Depending if they have some trigger, then sure, we have a problem. But we want to go fast. 7k Akainu. What do you have? You take. Then we go with our beautiful, beautiful Makino. Another 7k. How is your hand, Akainu? How many bricks in hand? 2k counter? Sure. And Sabo. That's very, very good. Now we can either go 6k, but I don't think that they will be going for life here, so we just put them on the clock. Another 7k swing into 7 cards in hand, and they need to make some decision. Now only 5 cards in hand, and we pass. We have only one potential attacker on board, but depending what they play, we can just start pushing with our leader, because we have 2 Diablo Jumbo in hand. I don't think that they are able to survive such push. 3k here, and 3k we want to counter, because they still have 2 attacks, potential Lucci, turn 4, so they are on 7 Dawn, so they can go Hina Lucci combo, but it's not needed here. It's too early for Rebecca Lucci combo, but again, they don't need that. They used Dawn already, so 7 Dawn, Borsalino is out of question. So I suppose they will play Lucci, KO, both, maybe try to push 1 more damage. We will counter this one. And let's see how they set up the turn. They must be careful. Okay, here we have Blazehound, then probably Lucci. Sure, we take the 6k. And trigger, do we want to trigger here? Probably yes, just in case that they want to push life. Next turn. Okay, here comes the Lucci. Clear the board. Sure. Some options now. We can just push them probably, but we have 2 radical beams in hand. It's more than enough, so 3 into 6, yeah. Just push for 6 here. 2k counter, sure. Push for another 6. Okay, take. And push for another one. Is it enough? No, it's not enough. Okay. We pass and let's see how they react. They need to connect 3 attacks with 9 Dawn. Sure, we could have go all in with 7k swing, but it was not guaranteed. So let's see how our opponent reacts. If we survive this turn, we win regardless. So we have 10k counter in hand, right? Radical beam plus Dadan would be, 5k counter, so we have 10 life. But they choose to go for Zoro, and I'm okay with that. Don't need to risk any funny business with them going into our life now. Yeah, they still can go 7-7, but they have no rush characters, so this time we can just radical beam, because why not? We keep our Zoro alive. They go with the combo. I think they know that we have at least one Diable, but yeah, regardless, we draw a card, draw a Dawn, attach, we just play Diable Jump on our beautiful Zoro and just go 7 and GG. So as you can see, again, turn 5 against decks that have not that many 2k counters. You just want to go straight to face, take your life aggressively, even with the cards like Tuko Sanji. You are just taking this life, so there is no possibility that you don't draw your pieces. You want your Diable Jumbe into matchups where they play a lot of blockers. You want to see obviously your rush characters to have value from them, and then as long as you see at least one radical beam, you should be able to set up a turn when they are forced to go into your characters. Then you defend them with your radical beam or bad manners and set up a turn when you go all in with the Diable Jumbe. We play against Katakuri. I will go first. Tough hand, mulligan, and a little bit better now. Let's see. Draw. We have some events in hand. Do we want to drop Buggy right away? Probably not. Just not to whiff too much. Okay, they pass. No play. We have a very nice start here. So just the usual 5k. Okay, 2k. We play that done. That done brings us Magura, one Diable Jumbe at the bottom, unfortunately. And then we continue. We can push more or we can develop, but we want them to attack into our life, so we will develop. And we have some nice event. Very nice. Okay. We have a setup. Next turn we will go face. And we will see. 7k, always take here. Okay, another one cost. Beautiful. They play Perospero. Perospero is a little bit too slow in this matchup now. Because. One here. 5k. Yep. Okay. Now the skill is to dodge Thunderbolt trigger. And we dodge all of them, push another 7. This is the skill in this matchup. Dodge, Thunderbolt trigger. And 7 they counter, okay, pass. Now, what they must do, they must go for the board, but they also want to develop. They have 6 dons. So what's the best play? For 6 dons, not much to do actually. And we can save one character here. Yeah, we are saving. saving them. Yeah. I save my guys. I want them up. Want them up and running. It's tempting, but I also want Zoro in hand. Diable Jump is important still. Yeah. Let's just let them go. Let's see how they attack here. So 5 up, maybe blocker Sanji and some 1 cost 7k. We let through. We have some space now. Gedatsu. Right, 5 cost. Okay, it's the one with the Gedatsu. It's okay. We draw. We attach here. Zoro is free turn 4 and then 5k swing. 5k swing, does it matter? Probably not that much, and we have Diable. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam. Yeah, we just pressure. 7. Yes. 7. Yes. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, sure. Now it depends. I think we just won. 8 Dawn. Okay, 8 Dawn is Katakuri turn. Okay, if they somehow clear the board and 6k here, 5k chase. Yeah, we need to let him go. But yeah, the problem here will be. Oh, okay, that's big. Yeah, Katakuri, put back Brule, probably another 5k. That's okay. Now we need to think a little bit about it. It depends if they take, because we have Diable. It depends if they take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, maybe. Do we go 7? And then we need 1, 2, 3. Then we go 7 if they take. We go Diable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 by 10. I'm not sure. I think we should go small and yeah. So do we die next turn? It depends. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now it depends. Because they can try to bite us. Okay. So we play it safe. We push. We can push 6 on board. 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. If there is Yamato, then we have a problem next turn, probably. Or another Katakuri. I would much rather put him on 0. Yeah. Okay, now we need 2k counter. Perfect. Yeah, 2k counter is correct here. Turn. And next turn we go all in. Okay, now it depends. It depends what they want to play and if they want to go for the game. They can go for the game if they want. It might be risky. It depends. They have a lot of attacks if they want. And they want to go for 7 and 7. No blocker. Let me get rid of this jet pistol. Another 7. Okay, so they attach. So might be Katakuri. If we let it go and they want to go half-half, they will go 7-7. Yeah, this one might be tough then. We go with radical beam. Now they need to make a decision. Okay, they go for it. They go with 7. And then they will go half-half, probably. So 3 left, 9. Okay, we need some good things in our life. Let me think, yeah. Okay, 2k counter, that's nice. They go for 9, and here we will have 10. We need 2k counter or the event to leave. Okay, cross our fingers, heart of the cards. Nice. Okay, now it depends. And we win. Okay, so they probably know what's up. They didn't risk it. Okay, it was an interesting play. But you see, we have so many defensive options. This event is just awesome, just underrated, and we can bite situations like that, because then they need to consider rush Luffy. Okay, they have blocker. Even if they clear everything, they know they need to go for the game. We have rush Luffy. We have Diable Jambe that we picked up with our buggy, I believe, or was it in hand? I don't remember now, but we have so many ways to go much faster than any normal deck, and they need to consider it. And even though they had all the big characters on board, because now Radical Beam is unbent, we can survive these final turns, final pushes. They see 1 down up and they know what's up. Okay, we win. We are playing against Enel. Bad matchup for us. He goes second, so I would actually mulligan this hand. It's a little bit tough. Much better here. We draw Dawn. We start with buggy. It's a whiff. Let's just place it correctly and pass. Against Enel we want to push as much as possible, but the last life or some triggers might be problematic. We see Sky Island build, starting with Shura, and picked up Rush Enel. We draw, we start with the 5k swing. Might be also Starve Enel, so what I would like to do here, oh, it's Shirahoshi trigger. Draw 3 cards, trash 2, let's see what they trash blocker Sanji, and another one. Might be interesting hand based on that information. Then we will just go buggy to pick up Radical Beam and follow it with Sanji and actually take up the life this turn to have a little bit more options, even though we are not attacking with Sanji this turn. Let's see what our opponent plays. They start with the swing most likely, or maybe they want to starve us. They are on 4 Dawn. They can play Holy combo. Next turn might be get that, so to clear our board a little bit better. I will take this one, no problem. We want to use our resources, and yes, we have and probably Holy combo. Holy might be still in hand. He didn't draw it, but might be in hand. Yes, it was in hand. So might be tough next turn. Let's see now what we want to do. We have a Brook. Brook gives us a lot of value here. We have Makino, we have Zoro. Let's do that first. Then let's force him into some place. So start with 5k. We start low. We don't push too hard. Then what we can do, we actually want to tap 2 for Sanji here. How do we tap 2? Maybe you can put him on 0 even. Let's see, 7k, sure, they take. And now we can go 7 again. Let's hope no trigger. They take, okay. Now it depends. But we can do some cool stuff. And it's Satori, so they actually trigger 2k counter. I don't know if it's the correct way here. Another 2k counter gone. So now we push hard. So play another Sanji for the next turn. We take life, attach 2, so now it's 8k if I'm correct, and maybe we put him on 0. Let's hope. Yes, nice. Okay, that's really strong. Now it depends. Okay, it's a Thunderbolt, sure. So the only problem now is that we most likely lose our board, but shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. Because we have so many defensive cards now. Unfortunately, Radical Beam, we didn't keep one open, but it's okay. We still have Rush Zoro. Next turn will be really spicy for our opponent. Now it depends, because they can also try to push for the game, but we have 6 cards in hand. Very risky. Okay, how they want to approach? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks to kill our characters. Do we care for Makino to stick on board? Probably not that much. Let's let her go. And they surrender. So you see, even against Enel, this is our worst matchup, but we have so many defensive tools for our characters that even if they play on Holy Combo, if they don't play carefully around our attacks, we can push life very fast and then lock them on the 6th down turn. And here is too much going on. They need to decide, do they want to go for life when we have 6 cards in hand? We might have Diable Jambe. We managed to put them on 0 life. And this is the main target in this game, because if we don't put them on 0 life and push the next turn before they can play Yamato or they can play 8 cost Katakuri, then we are already too slow. So ignore the board, don't use cards like Jet Pistol, it's too much. Don't investment, only trigger it if you take it from life, and then just push. If you are lucky, you can chase Enel, but most of the games you will lose against Enel, so be careful when you meet Enel. Just hope that they don't draw too well, or maybe don't know the matchup, and just push as always, and you might win in the end.